Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where we talk about skincare, grooming, and sometimes hair, so if that sounds like your thing, make sure you are subscribed. Also, come and follow me on Instagram where I post a lot of stuff you're not going to see here on YouTube. I have a guest today, Kelly!
Hi!
So, today we thought we would talk about skincare products that you may or may not be using wrong. I know a lot of these that we're going to talk about, I've definitely used wrong quite a few times. So this is more like, yeah, this is more like don't do what we've done and we're going to share that with you, right?
Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yes, yeah, that's it exactly. You probably already know Kelly and know her channel, but if you don't already, we have another 3 products that you may or may not be using wrong over on her channel. So that'll be the first thing you see in the description box and the pinned comment. So go over and check out that video after this one, or right away, do it now. So, the first one I want to talk about, it's something that I'm sure you get asked about a lot as far as what you think about this exact tool and alternatives, but that's cleansing brushes. So,
yes.
we're talking like Clarisonic, I think is like probably one of the first, right? Like the first electronic cleansing brushes that came out.
Definitely. Oh, I fell for that trend many years ago, but I bought the knockoff Clarisonic.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I got like the actual Clarisonic with like lights in and everything. Like I just got carried away.
I was the broke college student who totally like bought into the trend of needing a cleansing brush but couldn't afford one, so I bought the like $20 one at the drugstore. Oh yeah.
That takes like batteries.
Yeah, it was disgusting. Yes, batteries, exactly. Yeah.
So I get asked a lot because whether they're electric or manual, whether they're like £200 or $20, I get asked if they're really needed and what I think if they make a difference to my routine or they make a difference to your routine. But one thing... Okay, so a lot of people use these wrong because I think the name, first of all, is very misleading. Cleansing brush, when really it's more of an exfoliation stage.
True.
Yeah,
very
because
true.
you're obviously like manually and sometimes aggressively stroking your face with this brush. And that's especially in the way that I see people use them online, like, you know, the Instagram, like skincare routines, and even on TikTok now you see people doing them. Mm-hmm. And they're just like scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing with this brush. And even like the electric brushes do that themselves, don't they? They spin themselves. But you see people like doing this all over their face,
Yeah.
like really, really going for it.
Yeah.
And that's how people are using them wrong, is they're not meant to be aggressively used. They're literally meant to glide over the face if you're going to use them at all. If you feel like you need to use one, they glide over just like back and forth. You don't need to do circular motions. But in my opinion, they literally are just a physical exfoliator.
Yeah. I mean, I hate them.
Yeah.
Let's just put that out there, right? I hate them. I like to make my biases known. I personally don't like them. I have sensitive skin and they all just feel very aggressive. And maybe they're not aggressive on like use number 1, but over time, and I think that was a good point that you make too, is that it's more of an exfoliation. It's more of like an occasional use, 1 to 2 times a week type of product rather than a cleansing brush, which makes you think you should use it once a day, twice a day. And that's where I ran into trouble, with sensitive skin. I started to get very, very sensitized and agitated skin, redness, and a few breakouts just because it was too much for my skin to handle. Now, obviously, everybody has different tolerance levels, but I think you make an extremely good point. This is more of a treatment rather than an everyday type of tool. And I guess my question would be, if you're asking, is it worth it? Is it worth investing that much money into an occasional use tool that's really only taking off a few dead skin cells? I don't know.
Yeah. See, this is when I did buy my first Clarisonic, it was a lot of money. Then not only do you have to pay for your obviously main tool, but you have to replace the brush heads constantly with a Clarisonic, and especially if you're keeping it like hanging around in the bathroom and like on the side of the shower, wherever you do your skincare routine, it's something that you have to clean inside and out as well. So that's an extra cost. And at the time, I don't know how much they are now, but I swear they're about like 30 quid, like £20 to £30. They're not cheap. They aren't cheap. And then they also get you with all the added types of brushes, all the different like, clip-ons.
Yeah.
But I'm with you where whether I'm using, I wouldn't use these, but whether you're using a sponge or like a cloth I've seen online as well, or a spin brush, these are just physical exfoliation stages. So And as you said as well, despite what they brand their product as, it's not a daily cleanse. It's a once or twice a week, two, even three, depending on your skin and your tolerance. It's an exfoliating stage, and I would just use it, if at all, if you're going to when you are going to exfoliate.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe save your money and invest in chemical exfoliation types of masks. You're probably going to get more bang for your buck that way, honestly.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
And you may want to look at that cleansing routine too if you feel the need to really scrub your face in order to get it clean. You might want to consider your product.
I went through this really weird stage where I stopped using my Clarisonic, and literally for probably 2 weeks, I didn't feel clean. Not physically, but for some reason I was like, oh, without my spinning brush, it doesn't feel the same. And then I went back to using it, and I was like, this is actually really horrible. I remember getting red in here and all around here and thinking, this is not for me. Do you, or have you ever used a silicone brush, cleansing brush?
I have used those. Similar experience. I would say if you had to make a choice between the brush and the silicone, I would go for the silicone because there's a couple of reasons. It's easier to keep it clean, and it's like a one-time investment, right? You're not always buying the replacement heads, which I mean if you can reduce your waste, you should do that. Yeah. But I'm like the queen of saving money. It just saves you money in the long run. Just pay a little bit more for the rechargeable device that you don't have to buy the extra stuff for. I'm a bigger fan of those. I think they are slightly gentler on the skin. I personally, with sensitive skin, I still have the same experience. It's just too much for cleansing. And I mean, my skin doesn't need that much exfoliation. Yeah. So, I mean, investing in a device doesn't make sense for me. But I think that if you're still really attracted to the idea of these types of exfoliation devices, or just something to give you that little extra clean occasionally, I would totally opt for the silicone brush over the traditional brush. So one that I see people maybe not using wrong necessarily, but definitely one that I see people misunderstanding is essences, which is totally my area, right? Because this is from the world of Korean skincare. Essences, we did not have them in the Western world until K-beauty really became global, right?
Yeah.
But I see so many people not really understanding the point of an essence. And I get it. I do, because there's a big confusion around, is an essence a toner? Is it just another hydrating, watery step that we're layering onto our skin? And if it's not, how is it different than a serum? I think that there's a lot of confusion in that world. And also, what's a first essence? What does that mean? So
can I just say, I was using my first essence completely wrong until I saw one of your videos. I was just using it as normal, as usual. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, it's an essence, I use it then. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, you're gonna want to know this.
I'm on a mission to educate everybody out there about first essences. So yeah, let's talk about, first of all, essences, just the word essence and what it means as a product. So in the Korean skincare sort of world, an essence is actually meant to be the essential step in your skincare routine. And basically what it is it's a supercharged product that is meant to help give a little bit of skin cell turnover. So it gives you a very, very slight exfoliation. This is not chemical exfoliation. It's not intense, but it just kind of helps encourage your dead skin cells to shed off. It's always going to come usually with some type of brightening ingredient and some anti-aging benefits. It's also kind of meant as a way to sort of prep your skin as well, kind of to help receive the rest of your skincare products, or just kind of help boost your routine overall in a really gentle manner. I mean, these are absolutely meant to be used every single day. Very, very gentle. But that is really where they differ from toners, because as some of you guys know, in the K-beauty world, a toner is a hydrating, rebalancing step. And that's truly what a toner does. It really does just hydrate. Usually it helps even out the pH level of your skin, and it just kind of infuses your skin with that extra water. But what an essence does is it takes a lot of really highly concentrated ingredients and delivers it in a really gentle format. So that's where it differs, because it's more of a treatment rather than just a hydration step, which is why essences usually are really expensive. You notice that, right? They're $20, $30, $40, $50 for some of them.
Yeah, your toners are like maximum $10, I think, is the most expensive toner I have. And I think the most expensive essence I ever had is SK2. So what, like $100? Is like ridiculous. Like crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the reasonings for that is the active ingredients are in higher concentrations than a toner.
Right.
So you're getting more in the same amount, but it's just more highly concentrated to treat the skin. So that's really the difference. So if you are layering up your essence, please stop because you don't need to. Like if you're putting on 2-3 layers, you don't need to do that with an essence. Definitely, like you said, just get the more affordable toner if you feel that you need the hydration. I definitely layer my toner up like crazy, but essence step, really just like one layer is all you need to just get those like really concentrated benefits into the skin. So first essences, what? Come to the dark side of K-beauty and you will start to get very confused.
It's very confusing. I think like there's so many products and alternatives to those products in K-beauty, which is amazing, but it can get so confusing. And I just need to quickly say that's like one of the things I love about your channel is you really deep dive into all, like you did the mugwort or like the you know, all the different essences, because every brand does come out with their own version of like this particular product. So your channel's so good at like taking a deeper dive into each one and what's worth it and what's really not and what's basically the same thing. So if you are confused by K-beauty, over there you go.
Yes, I will probably save you money, but also cost you money.
Yes, yeah.
A little bit of both. Yeah. Okay. So first essences. This is definitely, it's a little bit more of like an older school K-beauty kind of idea that has recently had like a big like surge in popularity again, because I feel like they went away for a couple of years and then they came back. Well, really what a first essence is it's in the name, first. It is meant to go first, right after cleansing, prior to your toners. Super confusing because that traditional essence step is actually in between toner and serum. So that's usually where people go wrong. The biggest clue is usually in the name. It will say first essence. And that is going to tell you that it should go first. It always has a weird texture too. It's almost very like a thin water.
Yes. Yeah. I always call it like full fat water though, because you know like water's so like obviously flowy. It's just like that water's slightly thicker than usual. Do you know what I mean? But not gloopy and like it's a weird but nice. It's nice.
Usually those first essence textures, when you kind of glide it across your skin, it like absorbs immediately. That's usually a clue in as well. And the reason why that is because the difference between like a traditional essence and a first essence is a first essence is meant to go first because it makes all your other products absorb better and therefore work better. So it's a bigger routine boost than just your regular essence with the highly concentrated ingredients. This is something that actually aids the absorption of the products. And you know, if you can get that skincare in deeper, it's going to work better, right? It's going to work faster, more efficiently. So it's actually one of those really great products if you are having problems with absorption rates, or maybe, you know, you feel like your skincare maybe is building up a little heavy on your skin. You may want to consider adding in you may also want to consider taking some stuff out, but a first essence... We're going to talk about that later. But first essence can actually help boost the overall effectiveness and the absorption rate of your skincare product. So it's really a prep product.
Yeah. So this is the thing, like from first, because essence is always not traditionally, but more so used between toner and serum, like he said. When I saw first essence, I was like, the first of all the essences you're going to use in your routine? I was like, well, that's weird because I only ever use one. I was like, so why would I? So that's the thing. I was so confused by it, but I would just use it with my essence. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really think it was something different.
And it's not like the end of the world if you've been using your Misha, you know, first essence in between toner and serum. It's going to help that serum absorb better. But you might actually get maximum hydration benefits if you put it in first and then do your toners and all of that. It's really nice product too because it doesn't add any weight into the skin. It doesn't add any like richness or greasiness. So it's actually really easy to add into your routine. That's the other thing too. If you are somebody who can't tolerate heavy layers, maybe you have oily skin, you just don't want to use a lot of products, you can get maximum benefits in a really thin, lightweight kind of texture by going towards first essences rather than like the more traditional ones.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what I love about them is I've never been tempted. Well, I think I probably like layered it a couple of times, but I've never been tempted to do like a 7 skin method or anything like that with it because first of all, it's a little bit pricier to do that. Like I could
$20 face,
yeah. Yeah, yeah, all down the neck. But they are. There's something so. I was telling my little story, but when I first used an essence, I think it's the only product that I really have seen such a huge difference in my skin in such a short period of time. I think the first essence I got was the SK2 essence. It was gifted to me because I can't afford that. One day. It's good, but that's the thing is I had never used that concoction of ingredients before, that kind of fermented ingredients on my skin before with those brightening benefits. And I've been using a toner for ages before, so this was something new and it made such a big difference. And then that's why I think I thought SK2 was this holy grail product that was worth the money. But then I discovered things like Misha and what's the other one? Misha and Secret Key is quite a nice one as well.
Yeah, Secret Key has a really popular one. Cosrx, I mean, even has a very similar kind of formulation to SK2 with their galactomyces. I think it's a galactomyces essence or toner that they have, and it's the same key ingredient. So,
that's
I
thing.
mean,
It's like
that's the difference that a first essence particularly, I tend to think first essences are a little bit more they work a little bit faster, and it's the fermented ingredients. It's that age-old thing. If you can get your skincare to absorb better, it's going to work better for you, and that means that you're going to get better complexion benefits, more brightening, more of the antioxidants and the anti-aging types of benefits. It really does aid your overall complexion. You know, it's one of those products, if you stop using it, you know, you may be like, I don't know if this would do anything. You stop using it, and then you're like, wait a second. Skin's getting dull. Like, it is one of those. It's one of those products that it's just overall such a nice helper to your entire routine. I'm a massive fan, but it's not a toner.
Yeah. See, we were talking about this as well before. Is a lot of like a lot of toners and essences are similar nowadays because I feel like a lot of brands are trying to do like a crossover, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of them are trying to make toners with more essence-y types of ingredients in nowadays and vice versa. But we were saying before, weren't we, that half the toners I got don't have half the beneficial ingredients that my essences do, like some of my favorite essences do. And the texture is also very, very different as well. Like you said, I would use a toner straight out the shower. Not my first essence. I'd use a toner straight out the shower. And then use, what am I using at the moment? I've got a few essences on the go, and then that would give me that hydration and stop my skin feeling tight. But then it's really essence that I'm looking to for things like my niacinamide, my fermented ingredients, galactomyces, all that kind of stuff. And like I'll say again, like an essence really did change my skin for the better, like way back when.
It does. I mean, I think it's one of those steps that people can easily feel is unnecessary. It's very extra, right? I've got a toner, I've got a serum. Why do I need this in between step? But really, like, the proof's in the pudding. Like, once you've used it, you understand how it's helping you overall. And it is subtle, but the benefits are, you feel them for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. You were saying the difference between, obviously, essence is like concentrated ingredients, and the difference between, for me, an essence and a serum is that a serum I feel is for a very particular, almost like niche thing on my face. So I've got one for like repairing, I've got one for when I'm breaking out, one for when I got dark spots, whereas I would always use an essence all year round for general brightness and like vibrancy to my skin, whereas a serum really targets those extra little bits.
Yeah, I feel way more compelled to switch out my serums based on what's happening on my skin at that given point in time than I do with my essence, because my essence feels very foundational. Like, it's a very core part of your routine that just doesn't change. Usually, like with your cleansers and stuff too, I personally don't change my cleansers that often. But serums, Oh, I'm switching those out like every week. 'Cause
all
I'm
the
like, okay,
time,
now
yeah.
now we got the redness happening. Now we've got this going on. So yeah, I'm using that to really fine tune and target specific goals. But something like an Essence that's so foundational, and everybody always needs like a little bit more like brightness on their complexion, right? So it's one of
Yeah.
those, and then it just makes my routine work better. The whole thing just works better. It brings it all together. So yeah, it's just one of those products I just don't feel tempted to switch out.
Agreed. I agree. Okay, so the last one on this channel before you hop over to Kelly's channel is eye creams. Now, you're an eye cream lover.
I am.
I'm like an eye
Yes.
cream. Yeah, I'm like an eye cream. You know. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of eye creams. Mainly for me because I feel like I know my moisturizers that can work under my eyes. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Like there's ones that I
Yeah.
won't use, and there's ones that I know will be absolutely fine under my eyes. So yeah, I think that's the main thing. When people ask me if they need an eye cream, I'm like, if you feel your moisturizer is light enough and suits under your eyes, then go ahead and use your moisturizer. But for general, like, saving you time and worry, just buy an eye cream. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not the end of the world if you buy an eye cream. It's not the end of the world if you like an eye cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, why I personally love eye creams is because I am not taking any chances.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to like wake up one day and be like, dang, I wish I had used an eye cream. That's definitely number one. It's a little fear based for sure.
True.
But I find that I do get a little bit of discoloration underneath my eyes, and so if I use some type of eye cream that's a little bit more targeted to the eye area for brightening, I do see a little bit of a benefit there, and it does seem to help with more fatigued, kind of a fatigued look around the eye area, or maybe even a little bit of puffiness. I think that if you don't have those issues, though, I mean, the thing is, the best, there's two things that you can do for anti-aging that have nothing to do with any anti-aging products: sunscreen and moisturizer.
Yeah.
Right? If you just protect your skin from the sun and you moisturize it and keep it supple, you're going to be okay. You know what I mean? You
fine.
don't
Yeah.
have to complicate things if you don't want to. So I definitely as long as you're taking care of your eye area, I think that you're good to go.
Yeah.
But I do believe that eye creams can help target specific issues. I think they can.
Yeah. See, this is the thing, like, sometimes I look a little bit tired, but it's not all the time. And I don't have, like, particular, like, pigment darkness, or I don't really get puffiness either. And the one eye cream that I like, not the one of a couple that I like, that I know you like as well, is the Claire's Fundamental Awakening gel cream or something like that. Yeah, that's
the
it.
gel.
And that's because the gel,
good
because it's very, very similar to the moisturizers I use. It's light, it's like refreshing and cooling. I've got oily skin, so I would love to use that as a moisturizer. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's such a
Slap
nice
it all
texture
over your face.
everywhere.
That's a very Korean thing to do, by the way, is like eye
really?
creams for your entire face and neck. Yes.
Oh my
Some
God.
like Korean, this was like the thing. Some Korean actresses who are like, like 60 years old, but they look younger than we do.
Yes.
They look so good. Apparently their secret is they take eye cream and they put it all over their face because they're so targeted for wrinkles and anti-aging.
wrinkles.
That was a trend in K-beauty for a while. They were making eye face creams.
Oh my God, I would buy it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a sucker for like celebrities selling products, but for some reason when it comes to K-beauty, I don't know if you, really off topic, and I might cut this out, but I don't know if you remember Brown Eyed Girls did that Nivea lip balm advert. I bought so much Nivea lip balm because of that like little advert music video. I went crazy. I don't know what it was. It's just Nivea.
Some of my first K-beauty purchases were Innisfree because Yuna from Girls' Generation was their like model, and I just thought she was just the hallmark of beauty at that point in time. And I was like, I want to be like her. So I'll buy Innisfree.
Which she doesn't
Didn't
use
work.
as well. Yeah.
No.
But one thing I used to do was use eye cream completely wrong. Like, I watched a video, one of my old videos the other day.
Oh, don't do that.
My life. Literally
Cringe.
the worst thing you can do. But I would bring eye cream right up, like, under my eyelashes, in the corner. I'd go all the way up around my eyelid, pat up here, and like for some reason, like this is ridiculous now, I'd put it over my on the frown lines here. And be like, that's it. That's going to work. That's going to get rid of every line that I could possibly get. And my eyes would water. Like, they would, like, sting. And I'd be like, probably because it's, like, seeping down from my eyelid into my eyes. So when I do use an eye cream, I literally use the tiniest amount. Like, people say a pea-size amount, but I do find that even that is a little bit much to rub in, especially if you've got like a thicker consistency one. You could be there forever, like, gently tapping in. So literally just... I do like half a pea size, and you do it just under. So in, what's that called? Like the socket bone. I don't know what it's called. Is that
this thing?
That bit.
Yeah.
Just under, because the eye can attract. Yeah, the hollow. That's it. The hollow of the eye. And then you just do it around here. You don't need to go up here. You actually don't need to go on your eyelid either. I've seen a lot of dermatologists say, do you go on your eyelid?
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah, see, I do that with moisturizer.
Everywhere.
I'm like everywhere. But I couldn't really find the reasoning for that. I guess because it travels down, but I think if you're being light with it, it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be an issue.
That's really the key, and I think that you know, something I'm going to talk about later too. More is not more. You know what I mean? Like, definitely just use. You experiment, everybody's different, but just use a very restrained amount, because definitely the absorption and the eye area is very delicate. You don't, even though eye creams are designed to be around the eye area and be very gentle, you don't want to get that stuff in your eye. Like, you just don't, okay? So be kind to yourself, and just know that the more you put on, it's not going to make it work better or faster or anything like that. I personally do put it on top of my eyelid, just because I think about all the areas that I could, you know, have some potential issues. I think especially as a woman who puts eye makeup on top of their eyelids and would like to keep that as smooth as possible for as long as possible. That's definitely a thought in my mind, but I will concede that the like most problem areas for sure, and I think for most people, under and then the corner. The outer corner. That's where you're most likely going to start to develop the expression lines, the fine lines, the wrinkles, that type of thing. And the fatigued look really is coming on the under eye as well.
You made a really good point in one of your videos, actually. It's kind of a similar thing, but about the eye patches. And I always used to be under the impression that it's thinnest bit first, largest bit out here, but you can use it either way.
Either way. Yeah. No way is wrong. Really, you want to put that largest area on your biggest problem area. And for some people, that is the outer area. Maybe get some like crow's lines or expression lines on the outer. But I personally is here. It's all right here. Like, why? And that's where it is, you know. It's a little bit more hollow. That's where my discoloration happens. And that's where I want to get the biggest surface area of that eye patch into the biggest problem area. So either way is absolutely fine, however you want to use those. And hey, if you want to slap those on those expression lines too, or maybe even the forehead, do it. It's just extra hydration, right? So kind of like a little mini sheet mask. How do you feel that eye patches are effective though? I'm curious.
It's weird, you know, because sometimes depends on what they are. There's a few very particular brands. I always say the brand wrong. Like, is it Petitfi or Petitfi?
Petitfi? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always find those ones are really good for some reason. Like, they always actually brighten the area. I leave them on for 10 minutes. They don't slide down my face. And then my under eyes actually look so much brighter. And it is just whatever's in that serum that is so good, you know.
Right.
But whatever's in it is good. And I do like the way it keeps it just in that area, because I feel like it might be a bit too much for anywhere else on my face, that particular one. But then there's been other ones that have just felt like literally like hyaluronic acid on my face. Do you know what I mean? But those ones for some reason are really, really good. I actually just tried some Milk makeup ones that I love. They're so, so good.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, I wouldn't favor one over an eye cream or just a moisturizer, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not like frantically using them every day.
I go in between feeling like they're very effective and also that they're all the same. Sometimes I feel like they all just bring the same general, I mean, the good ones, right? They all just bring the same general benefits. I could probably live my life without them, quite frankly. Yeah. But I do like to throw them on kind of the same way that I would go towards a sheet mask. Like when I want to like get a little extra snatched underneath my eyes, or I'm feeling extra tired, or you know, I have like a big event and I want to make sure that my makeup applies smoothly or something like that. I definitely reach for them for that type of instance. But as far as like actual long-term benefits, you know, they're extra, right? They're extra, but they're nice.
Yeah. Like, I have some in the fridge that I go to sometimes, you know, for those days where I am extra tired. But yeah, you're right, they're extra. Okay, so those are 3 products that you could be possibly using wrong. I know a lot of them, actually all of them, I used wrong and used them horribly for a long, long time. But as I mentioned, this is a collaboration video, so go over to Kelly's channel now. It's linked everywhere down below, and check out 3 more things that you're gonna want to hear that you could possibly be using wrong. So that is it from us now, guys. We will see you over on Kelly's channel.
Bye.